First item on the agenda, any apologies?
Chairman, I've got apologies from Councillors Hayden Taylor and Julian McGee-Sumner.
Thank you. Item 2, declarations of interest. Do anybody have any? No, so we'll move on to item 3, the public question time. We have some part 2 questions, and unfortunately we're going to exclude all members of the public when we get to that position. So, first question is from Peter Musk.
With regard to item 5 of the meeting, the executive, could the member for regeneration explain how this purchase has become, I quote, crucial to achievement of regeneration objectives, when up until now the public has been assured that the regeneration plan can be delivered within the sites identified to date? Since either we've been told less than the truth, or the word crucial is an exaggeration to make the deal sound necessary when it's not actually vital.
Thank you for your question, Peter. The purchase of the property that we've identified has become crucial to the achievement of the regeneration objectives as a direct result of recent changes in the circumstances of the owner of that property and their immediate plans for it. In the light of this, the deal has indeed become vital, and it is crucial that the Council adapts its plans to meet the changing circumstances. Unfortunately, due to the commercial sensitivity of the situation and the confidential ongoing negotiations, I'm not in a position to provide you with any further additional information at this present time, but we'll be happy to discuss the matter further with you at a later stage.
Do you have supplementary?
I do. But rather a general question and observation perhaps. Would the executive member and his colleagues agree that the council acting as developer has placed councillors and officers alike in the invidious position where commercial concerns require them to offer optimistic assurances to the local community about the regeneration project, even when those assurances are contrary to what's actually happening? For example, the long-term and frequent assertions of a major retailer being found for the projected food store, or the plans originally submitted for regeneration in Elmsfield and Peach Place being a well-considered solution, and that placing sensitivity to the market above candour to the public will inevitably make that public more sceptical about any future assurances that the council offers about the regeneration project.
Peter, if I didn't know you better, I'd have thought you weren't for this regeneration. I am concerned that you feel that way. We are working very hard to bring the plants back online. Clearly, we've had a minor setback in J. Sainsbury because of their changes of at the head of their business, and also the climate decided that not only was Wokingham but other sites in the country going to be withdrawn from development. Fortunately, we have been in conversation with other retail companies, and we are looking forward with them at this time. So it's not true to say that we've only had one horse running in the race. It was our preferred, it's fair to say, but it certainly wasn't the only horse in the race. And in due course we will come back with further points for that. As far as Elmsfield is concerned, that's been part of an overall review that's been carried out since the withdrawal of the plans in December. Indeed, there have been many hours spent by members of this Conservative group, along with architects and officers, to refine the plans in line with this fine market town that we've got. And therefore we want to retain our market as the centre of the town and the flow of business between the elements of the regeneration. So that's crucial to what we're going to be bringing out coming forward. I would point out as well, unfortunately, the opposition, although they were invited to join in these discussions in February, did reject that. And therefore it is
untrue.
And therefore it is quite sad that that is the situation, despite what they've tried to portray elsewhere. So we are going to be coming back. We've spent a lot of time, and in due course you will be in discussion with us, obviously, about what we're proposing.
Thank you. Kay?
I'd like to ask a question in my name.
I think that's down to me. Okay. The funding will be provided either from our own reserves or from borrowing via Public Works Landlord, or a combination of both.
I do have a supplementary, if that's all right. How will you guarantee that rental income will cover the costs of this acquisition?
The rental income that is currently in the site will do that and more, and it's a decent return.
Thank you.
Moving on, Russia.
Well, that's the question in my mind.
Do apologise, I'm getting advice. We need to defer that into part 2. Dee?
What are the financial risks around the purchase of this property, and what does the risk assessment say about them?
Thank you for your question, Dee. If you read part 2 of the paper, you'll see the answer.
Your track records, supplementary?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, okay. Your track record so far with this project is poor, and you put up council tax this year, claiming financial pressures. How confident are you you're not just creating more financial pressure and risk for the council?
I think it's very fair to say that with a 9% return on this investment, it is going to be more than paid for.
Thank you. I now need to exclude public, but under section 100A, paragraph 4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business on the grounds that they involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraphs 3 of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Act as appropriate.